Which camera am I?
All of them.
Good evening, She Shackers, and thank you for tuning in to another night with me, A Queen, Conversations in the She Shack. We are going to be having some dynamic conversation tonight. I have my mom sitting in with me. I actually didn't even invite a guest, but she loves coming in the She Shack and giving us our wisdom and giving us some laughter and spreading love. And so tonight we're going to be talking about, are you stuck or are you staying? That's tonight's topic. Are you stuck or are you staying? Are you staying in expired relationships, not just relationships with like significant others, but overall, are you stuck in this job or are you staying in this job? And are you staying in this job out of fear of moving into something else, or to stepping out on faith and not sure what the next thing is going to be? So tonight, are you stuck or are you staying? Ask yourself that question. Drop it down in the chat. I would love to hear from you. I would love to know what your thought is. If you ever been in a situation where you thought you were stuck and you realize that you're staying, or are you in a situation now and you're questioning yourself, am I stuck here or am I staying here? And if I'm staying here and I don't want to be here, well, why am I staying? That's what we're going to be talking about tonight. And before we get really going into the topic too much and unpacking this topic, I want to remind you guys to check us out on YouTube, on Instagram, and on Facebook. Conversations with me, A Queen. Tonight is our very first night that we are live on YouTube. We are actually live tonight. We do not have to wait for our videos to be uploaded. So people all around the world will be able to see what the She Shack is all about and see what the chatter and the conversation is about here in the She Shack. So, have you ever been in a situation where you thought you was stuck? Or was you ever, and you were like, I feel like this is it, I'm stuck here, and I don't know how to get out. Or did you want to get out?
Yeah, I've been, I've been in a kind of a stuck situation, and I had to figure how I was going to get out. I knew I was going to get out. I just needed to figure out how I was going to get out.
Well, this reminds me of something. I don't know if you remember this, but the Spirit of God has really been working on me. I was trying to tell you this all day, but I haven't gotten the opportunity to just say it. So, boom, pow, here we go. I'm not going back to school for nursing.
Okay.
So, not that I'm not going back to school, but I'm not going back to school for nursing. I have decided to get my degree in literature.
I think you always have been an English major. And you've always been very good at creative writing. But
it's going to be screenplay writing is the focus.
Okay.
And literature as the major.
Okay.
And my educational path at this point is that be my undergrad, literature, with a focus in screenplay writing, and I want to pursue my degree as a master's in philosophy.
Well, you know what, Vet? I've always been supportive whatever you decided that you wanted to do. And, I am a great advocate of you have to follow the path of your dream. And the reason why I say that, you have to follow your own path, because you're the person that has to put in the work to enjoy.
I don't know. See, that part of it is true. But I guess this message is for people that still kind of like have been trying to figure it out. Even in, over 40. I've always been a free-spirited person. And I believe in following with that energy or what I feel and things of that nature. So there was a time in my life where it was more about survival. It was more about stability, and it was more about what would be best for my children.
Right.
So being that I had always had experience in healthcare, thanks to my mom, and that's not like thanks in a bad way, thanks in a good way of influencing me in a career path. When I was not really sure, I knew I loved helping people. I just didn't have a broad spectrum of what helping people really meant.
Well,
and I saw...
You have to look at it like this here. I always thought that you would probably be an attorney or something like that.
People say that.
Because, Yvette, you always, when you was a young kid, I ain't trying to take anything from you. And I ain't really trying to talk about you, okay?
You can talk about me.
Oh, I know I can. I'm your mama. I can talk about you if nobody else can. I mean, you was always a kid that always felt that you needed to have the last word. Even when I was like, Yvette, you better not say anything. I hear you mumbling underneath your voice.
I think I'm still like that.
Yeah.
No, I think I'm still like that. Because
see, that's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm
I
talking
think
about.
I'm still like that.
So,
I'm sure I'm like that.
See, that's what I'm talking about, y'all. Y'all say y'all lie. She said, this is the shenanigans I had to put up with all her life, okay? Even when she was in school, the teacher said she just had to have the last word. And I was like, can you please just shut up, okay? And she said, Mom, she can't tell me what to say. You always told me. I was like, Yvette, just be quiet. You need to learn how to be quiet, okay? But she's always been talkative her whole life. Talkative. But anyway, I'm an advocate for that, and I think you always been a people person, and you have always had a lot to say, okay? So with that in mind, and you always been a storyteller, I can still remember some of the papers that you wrote even when you was in high school. Let me tell y'all something.
Wait, before you do that, no, because you're getting off track.
No, what I'm saying is that if that is the career path that you want to pursue,
I don't want this.
Because me personally, when I get ready to go back to school, I'm not going back to school for nursing.
Mom, this wasn't about if you was gonna approve of it or not.
No, I know.
This was about.
Honey, I know you're not looking for my approval. What I am saying to you is that regardless of what it is that you decide that you want to do, I'm 100% always.
Oh no, I don't doubt that. But I know that you were looking forward to me being a registered nurse.
I was looking forward to it. I wanted it for you because that's what you wanted it.
No, that's not what I wanted.
Okay, well, people change their mind all the time. So if you want to go into filmmaking and philosophy, to me, Yvette, regardless of what it is that you decide to do in life, I will always be proud of you.
I appreciate that.
Okay,
I don't want to get into the sentimentals of.
No, I'm not trying to be sentimental. I'm just trying to be transparent. Regardless of what it is that you wanted to do, I would have never thought that you would have had a She Shack. Okay? I never would have thought that.
Wait. How does this get to be about me?
Because I just want to know. Well, I mean, you the one who opened this can of worms. So let's just.
Mom, yes. I was just giving you a little news. I didn't want this to be a whole She Shack about me in a whole different career path.
No.
Cause let me just say, I'm not even. Maybe I shouldn't have even said it live, but I have to at least hold myself accountable for it. And the reason why this kind of coming up is I have abandoned writing stories and things like that a long time ago. I have not done it in quite some time. I knew that I had at one point had a love for it. I knew that it was a natural talent, something that it didn't take a lot of effort. So one night I'm in the kitchen, and you know how they say you get these boom moments.
Yeah,
and I had a boom moment where I was actually seeing it, and it was like AQueen Productions, and it's a script of some kind, and it just was like start writing. Okay. So I started writing, and when I finished writing, it was maybe about 9-10 pages.
Okay.
And it was just a script, and on side literally characters, names of people or whatever. Mm-hmm. But what it brought me back to about this is how I got to Stuck or Staying. Because and it's so crazy because this particular event was when I was a little girl. And you packed me up in a laundry basket, and we were supposed to be going to town. We were supposed to be going to town to go do laundry. And Mom came in early one morning. You got to read this story because I wrote it. And she came in and she started me. She said, "Get up, Vet. Get up, quick. Get up." And I'm like, where we going? I'm trying to figure out. She talking about put your clothes on. And in my mind, I remember times before when we was in a rush getting ready to go somewhere. But some way or another, it always seemed like it was a drill, like we was practicing for the real thing. So this morning when she came in, I was like, this is the real thing to myself. Like, this is it. So I go and I put my clothes on. I'm getting to go get my doll babies. And she said, no, we'll come back for those. You don't need them. So I'm sitting like, she said, get in. What? The basket. So I'm getting inside because I'm a little tiny thing. So I get in the basket. She put some clothes on top of me, dragged the basket on outside. I knew I was in the back of a car. I knew we was moving. I didn't know where the hell we was going. And I see her. I hear her. I can't see her because I'm in the laundry basket. And she said, all right, Mama, I'll see y'all later. And she waving at everybody as we go down this dark road. This was her last hoorah. I done seen y'all for the last time. I don't need to see you no more. And I knew we had to be going to town because the ride was so long. Then we pull up. I'm out the basket. She said, here, put these clothes on. I just put clothes on. But and for some reason, I knew to just follow the directions. We was in town where I would typically go to see the dentist. So I'm like, why I gotta get in the laundry basket to go see the dentist? Honey, let me tell you. Got out that laundry basket, threw my brother on her hip, and I tell you, it was a Greyhound bus coming right up the road. She said, come on, that's our ride. And we got on the Greyhound bus, and the next thing I know, we was in New Orleans, Louisiana.
Yeah, that's a true story.
That's a true story.
I said.
And so that's what terrible. So she was staying when she thought she was stuck, but then realized that there was a way out. This is my interpretation of the story, and from like now looking back on hindsight. This is like what I received from it now. Because I remember the events that took place prior to that trip. I remember you saying, this is it. I remember that. I remember you saying, if I don't get out of here, I'm going to kill your ass. That's what I remember as a child. And it's because I had to be like maybe 6 then. So it's like this was your first marriage, and you had, I'm not going to call his name, but
he was a deadbeat.
My mom was married, and he wasn't my father, but he was my brother's father. And I remember this time, I don't know if y'all know anything about cracklings and slaughtering pigs or anything like that, but this was a little kind of like, not really a farm, but kind of sort of. We had a cow, we had a pig. And I remember, we did, and we used to feed him and fatten him up. We used to eat everything we ate. We put it in a bucket, and my job was to take it out there to the pig. But one day, the little piggy, when I came home from school, was gone. Wasn't no more pig. Pig was gone. And all the grown folks is outside, and they got this big barrel. They got fire going, and music, down home blues is hitting off the speakers, and things is going down, liquor and swerving and carrying on, and then it went left.
Yeah, it sure did.
And then after it went left, it went left, and after it went left, the drill happened. And the next thing I know, we on the bus to the Magnolia Projects from Kentwood, Louisiana.
Yeah, and because my sister, that's
to New Orleans, Louisiana, to my Aunt Rhonda's house. That's where we went. And I remember, we went to Aunt Rhonda's house, and it's just crazy how my childhood memory would bring me to a space now, or you stuck or you staying now. Because now, like, even though I didn't realize what all that was happening, I knew that it was not good. I knew that there was some abusiveness involved, and I knew there was some alcoholism involved. I knew that not even though I didn't know what the words were. But to go back and look now and see how courageous you were, and this really was like a Harriet Tubman Underground Railroad kind of thing. I'm gonna put you in this basket, and I'm gonna get you in the back of this truck, in the back of this car here, and don't you say nothing. Now, I still don't know what I'm hiding for, but that was what Mama felt was needed. You get in the basket, you don't say nothing, and she waving down the dirt road and telling everybody she'll see them later, and so long, and they tilting their hats, and where you going? Oh, going to do the laundry. It's only 5 pieces of clothes in this laundry basket because I'm at the bottom. But that was getting us up.
Yeah, that's true, but it was more than 5 pieces of clothes. The part that she missed out on is that I had took our suitcases. Well, they wasn't suitcases; they were duffel bags. I had took the duffel bags and put them down in the laundry basket. I had packed all our clothes and everything and put them in duffel bags. They was red. Remember those red duffel bags?
I thought the basket was red. That was the bags that was red.
Yeah. I had brought some duffel bags and put our clothes and stuff in a duffel bag. And, yeah, I didn't feel, I just, when, let me, how can I put this? When I always say you stay in something until you know you're tired of being tired. And I was tired of being tired. I was tired of the abuse. Okay. I knew that was a place that I didn't want to be. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. I wasn't no backwood country kind of girl. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Well, hold on. Let's clarify backwood country, because you saying that you're using it in a term.
I'm not using it. Let me just rephrase it this way. I was born and raised in the city all my life. All right, and when we got together, see, we were supposed to be living in Hammond.
No, hold on. She about to start with these nostalgias.
No.
We're not about to go down nostalgia.
I'm just trying to help you put the pieces together because of the fact you're writing the story. Then you know you need to come to me and I can tell you the story.
Well, we can do that on
another day. But at the end of the day, she's telling the truth. I did. I put her ass down in the bath and I told her to lay down in that bath. Don't you say a word. Because they thought I was going to the laundry, and they thought I was going to leave the kids there, and the kids wasn't there. The kids were in the baskets in the car, okay? And I knew I wasn't coming back, and she's absolutely right. That was a one-way trip. When I had got the schedule to the Greyhound bus, I knew exactly what time it was leaving, and I knew exactly how much it was going to cost me. I saved up my little coins, and when I got enough, I planned my escape, if you want to put it that way. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I mean, sometimes you have to do what you got to do. And me personally, I wanted a better life, not only for myself, but for my kids. And see, this is the thing that really kind of sparked it. I was in school. And when somebody tell me I can't do something, it's time for me to rethink the situation.
I also think when we start talking and unpacking about stuck and staying. I personally have felt stuck in like career choices and like what am I doing? Like what is my purpose? Where am I supposed to be going? Am I on the right track? And if I'm not, God, help me get there. What do I need to do? What do I need to let go? What do I need to change or not change or improve or whatever it is? And I was stuck in this this whirlwind of uncertainties of not knowing what to do or how to do it or where am I going or how am I getting there. I knew the one focus that I had was my children. Focusing on making sure they have their basic needs, their basic, like just making sure that they have, not just, my kids are spoiled, but, they are, but their basic needs were.
She wore a t-shirt that said that she was spoiled. So, but I can understand.
So the thing is though, And we get lost. We get lost though.
Yeah,
we get lost with taking care of the people around us, especially sometimes if you are the chosen one that God chooses to be the stronger one. If you're the one that God feels that your back is heavier and you can carry more. So, but when you are being everything to everybody, you can lose focus of who you are. You can lose focus of who you are as a mother, as who you are as you. Like, I'm Yvette, but Yvette the mom, Yvette the wife, Yvette the daughter, Yvette the sister, Yvette the friend, Yvette the godmom. But when do I just get to be Yvette? But once you pour out all of that stuff, who is Yvette?
Well, you know? The story that you're telling, a lot of women say the same thing, right, including myself. You know, I mean, I was, and I still am. I have to say that, guilty as charged. I'm family orientated. I'm a firm believer in family, but I'm also a firm believer in education as well. Mm-hmm. Those are two of my top of my listing. I instilled it family, and I instilled it education, because I feel, number one, you need your family. You have to, your family is everything to me. And then education, I always say education is the key. All right. So, and again, I know people that only have a high school diploma and making six figures. All right. And I also know people that got college education that's only making five figures. So, you have to, you got to get it where you can get it. And then, like you said, you everything to everybody. And I can understand that, because so was I. I was everything to everybody. Everything to everybody. And then, when my kids grew up and got grown, and then they started to have lives of their own, and they got married, they moved out and did whatever else they wanted to do, I was like, well, damn, I'm here by myself. I'm stuck. But, I had to reevaluate things, okay, because that's how I felt. Not only did I felt like I was stuck, I also felt lost, okay, because I had wrapped my whole life around family. All right. I was always the go-to girl. If your boyfriend was beating your ass, if your boyfriend was beating you up and he threw you out the house, you need a place to go, you ring my sister's doorbell. Ding dong. I can read Charlene's doorbell. It doesn't matter day or night. I'm always going to have a place to stay. Okay. My money is funny, and I got myself in a jam. I can always call my sis. My sister's right there. Ding dong. I need this. No was not in my vocabulary.
You know how powerful no is?
Okay.
No,
I had
powerful.
to learn how to say no. Okay, because I never said no, regardless of what the situation was or who asked me, or I never said no. All right, and it was a long time before I learned how to say no. So
it's so much power in the word no.
It is a lot of power, and I'm enjoying that moment of it too.
And it's not saying no because I just want to just say no to you. I'm just, because sometimes people take the word no personally. It's a personal no.
Yeah.
But it's a personal no on the other side. Not personally no to you, but personally no for me. Right. It's a no for me. So it doesn't mean that we not friends. It doesn't mean that we not associates. It doesn't mean that we're not cool, but it just means that I've set boundaries, and that is a boundary. It's gonna be a no for me. Right. You know what I mean?
And
but that also gives us our power back, because when I say no, it's powerful. We are all at some point guilty of overextending ourselves for the goodness of other people, or trying to be there for someone. So you know that you have an obligation at home. You got an obligation with the job. You got an obligation with the kids. You got an obligation with your friendship. You got, your girl wants you to be at the party with them. Your husband want to take you out on a date over here. The daughter needs you to do such and such and such. And now you filled in your day with yeses. Your whole day is filled up. Yeah, I'll be there. I'll do this. I'm going to be here. And then people start thinking it's about self-centeredness. They start thinking that you are making it about you because you're trying to be what they need you to be for them. So it's perceived as, oh, it's all about you. You always on scene. You always this or you always that. Always been such a stern and exclusive word, not seeing the effort of, I haven't had sleep. I've been up for 3 hours because I wanted to make sure I was here for you to support you. I wanted to make sure that I was able to be a person of my word and show up. And at the end of it all, we are overextending ourselves for others.
Yeah, that's
but then as soon as
you say no,
soon as you say no, or as soon as you run out of gas, because that's what I wanted to say. As soon as you run out of gas, not like physical gas, but a spiritual gas. Mm-hmm. When now you are exhausted or, you're down for whatever the reason, crickets. Woohoo.
Yeah, that's
true.
Absolutely. And then, with my no and my barnyard full of yeses.
Barnyard. I like that.
And then I think the one thing that made me really, really, really take a good look and reevaluate things, I think, is when my health got involved.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's for me too.
When my health got involved and I ended up in the hospital, I ended up on a vent, and my room should have been overflowing with people and flowers and everything else,
mm-hmm.
because of the outpour that I gave of myself,
mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But the actuality of the situation, it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that at all,
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of it was, and you remember that time I called you, I was at home and I was cleaning up and I asked you a few questions about that particular situation.
Mm-hmm.
And, that in itself was like an aha moment for me.
I believe that at some point, I'm not the expert yet. Not yet. But y'all stick with this She Shack and you're going to find out what it's hitting for. Expert coming, right? But I do believe, just from my own personal experience, and from people that I've actually talked to, when you get to a point of maturity, a maturity level, and a self-awareness level, and you become more aware about what's important to you. Because, as we grow and we evolve and we become, gather more wisdom, and we hopefully not old fools, because for some reason my Aunt Val used to say ain't nothing worse than an old fool.
Yeah,
so and I knew that that's not something I wanted to be, was an old fool.
That's true. And what she was saying is that you don't continue to let people use you,
mm-hmm.
and they use you until they use you up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
mm-hmm.
So that's basically what Aunt Val was really speaking of during that process, So, and it's true, people will use you to death if you let them.
So this is what I say about that, because people will use you to death. My girlfriend said, she still said, because I'm always saying, listen, people are people. I always said, and she said, Yvette, why do you always say that people are just people? Because they are. But the thing is, we allow people to have so much pull and power over our decision-making process, how we plan and schedule out our days. And I think that we lose focus of one thing. We are the master of our own thoughts. Like, God has actually given us the power to be the master of our thoughts. That's something that he's actually given us. Like, you know, he gave us this, but we get so caught up in what other people think and what other people saying behind our backs. Sometimes they sitting right next to you and whispering in the ear next to them and smiling in your face all at the same time.
That is so true.
I don't even know how this phone is ringing, and I put it on Do Not Disturb. I'm talking about we was going so good without no interruptions, and I don't know whoever that is calling me. You know I do She Shack at 7 o'clock, so get off of my phone.
Oh, I told y'all.
Who was it?
Malaya.
Now, Malaya, you know I do She Shack at 7 o'clock. You know not to be calling me at no 7 o'clock, Malaya. Between 7 and 8, girl is on live on She Shack. But sis, I love you, and I'm going to call you when I'm done with this She Shack. But girl!
Yeah, I mean, am I stuck? I always, when I feel that I'm stagnated or stuck, if you per se, my wheels get to turning. Even when everybody else is sleeping, my wheels is turning. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to figure it out. And once I get it figured out, then I put my plan into action. And a lot of times, once I put my plan into action, I don't say anything to anybody. I don't say a word.
That's a key point. Oh my God, that is so important because and I had to learn this lesson the hard way. I really had to learn this lesson the hard way. And the lesson that I learned is sometimes you can't tell nobody what you're planning.
I tell Jesus.
That's different.
And the reason why I say that is sometimes I catch myself when I'm in real deep thought, I talk out loud. Okay? I talk out loud sometimes. So when I'm in real deep thought and I'm trying to figure things out, because sometimes I always say if you hear something, it gives you better understanding of it. So sometimes I talk out loud. So when I'm in real deep thought, I have learned that I need to be in a space by myself. Okay?
Okay, guys, so take notes. I want y'all to drop this in the chat. This is AQueen and her mom, Bebe. This is Bebe. We gonna give you a few points and pointers if you feeling that you are stuck and that you are maybe not sure of what you want to do, getting out of a workship, a friendship, a relationship. I'm not telling you to stay or to leave, but only you can search your soul and decide what you think is best for you. And the first thing I say is this: you first got to search and you have to pray. And you take those two things and you ask God, never, ever, never, ever, never, never, ever make an emotional decision.
No, you don't.
Emotional decisions are not this is my experience now. Every time that I've made an emotional decision or reacted in an emotional way, it was never a good outcome. Ever. So in my experience, never, ever, ever make an emotional decision. Okay? Make sure that decision is well informed and thought out. Like my mom said, have a plan. Have a plan about what you're doing, where you going. Okay? Now, remember, your plan is not etched in stone because God is the author and the creator of this journey. You just need to have some direction. And so when you're praying and he's illuminating and enlightening your path, then you will be able to have a clearer direction of where you headed. Okay? Make sure you catching these gems I'm dropping on you tonight. Because I don't want to hear any of my She Shackers saying, I'm stuck in something. We are growing together as a community, as a She Shack community. If my community not growing, then I'm not growing. This is a level up season. We're going to the next level. You heard me, you heard it here first. I am going back to college. Yep, 46, back in college, and now I have a clear direction of where I'm headed. And you guys are holding me accountable. Celebrate with me, and I want to celebrate with you. So drop it in the chat. I am not stuck. And if you somewhere you don't want to be, I am not staying. Not staying, not stuck. 2023 is right around the corner. Level up season. She Shackers, I thank y'all so much for tuning in with me in the She Shack every Tuesday night. I'm trusting God for major, big, gigantic, ginormous things. And with that being said, I want to take all of y'all with me. I haven't been able to get where I am without you. I don't want to go where I'm going without you. But I'm still going whether you decide to support me, hate me, or love me. I thank y'all so much. Watching me on YouTube, watching me on Instagram, watching me on Facebook, following me on LinkedIn, following me on Twitter, following me on TikTok, and making this dream a reality. I thank you guys so much. I hope that the information I shared with you tonight has been useful. I love y'all for real. Have a magnificent Tuesday night. Good night, y'all.